if you hear a little bit of noise or weird tickings or other not normal sounds, it's because John's working over in his working area. Though you can't see him because he's too short for his chair.
I see the chair moving though, so yeah. I was going to say maybe you have a poltergeist there.
I think a poltergeist would be quieter and a little more respectful of my work.
Damn it.
Anyways, so how we guys doing it? How you doing, Caroline?
I'm doing. It's been a crazy week.
It has been a week.
I can't believe it's
Or
just
has it been a month? I think
It's
it's been. I
amazing.
think it's been a month.
I feel like it's been an entire year already.
It's amazing. It's just
Jesus
amazing.
Christ.
And like I'm still on my news fast, although it sneaks in because obviously there's so many things that are happening that it trickles into, all like entertainment stuff. I mean, it's like impossible to go anywhere and not hear some of it.
So
Um,
have you heard about all the raids?
I
Yeah,
don't, no, tell me.
they have been raiding like
Where'd they
immigrant
start?
communities. Huh?
Yeah, so they started. Where are they?
Yeah. I actually have a map over here somewhere.
Has there been in
Uh,
PA at all?
Not that I have seen. Let me see if I can scoot this. Uh, I know they've been in New Jersey, but not PA. John, all right, that you're doing too much now. You're talking over me.
Is a lithium cell battery.
Okay, go. Thank you. Love you. PA, no. Um,
Yeah.
Not yet. They have been in Jersey. I'm trying to blow up the map here.
Sure, take your time.
Uh, where is that? What city is this?
We're in
Uh,
Philadelphia.
no, I know what city we're in.
God damn
Talking
it.
about the raid in Jersey.
Okay, sorry.
I
Trying to
think
be
it's
helpful.
like around like New Brunswick or something. Newark, in Newark. At a what is it? At an ocean seafood depot. So they're going to like people's workplaces, but they're also going to schools.
Wow.
And like, thankfully, this I think happened in Chicago.
Right.
Thankfully, the school had like a procedure already in place
Okay.
to deny
Yeah, it was
like
Secret Service. Was
access.
that what I saw a headline? It wasn't ICE, it was Secret Service or something like that.
No,
It
it was
denied.
ICE.
Okay, because there was something that flew across that said it wasn't ICE, it was Secret Service in some school, but obviously this
No,
is
it was
multiple
ICE.
locations.
But what they did, mm, sorry, their policy was that to deny them access and to call CPS. Probably the only time CPS has actually helped the kid.
Right. Aw, aw.
But they called CPS, like the legal department,
Mm-hmm.
and asked them what they were supposed to do, yada yada. Like CPS stepped in
Mm-hmm.
and was able to prevent them from entering the school.
Right.
Baruch
But
Hashem.
right. Great. But we know that pretty much let's fast forward as to where this is going. And Steve and I were talking about this earlier. We figure that they want to take them and make them slaves, so they're not going to deport them. They're going to take people and they're going to put them in like holding places and then make them work like they make prisoners work. We think.
I don't. I mean, it's possible,
That's what
but
we think,
like
right? That's what I see. I don't see
it.
those people actually going back to Mexico. I think they're,
We,
or
we,
wherever
we,
they came
we,
from. I think they're going to put them in camps and they're going to make them work and they're going to get slavery back the way they want it. And now, if you ever fuck up, you're going to be sent to a work camp or something.
well, I mean, they kind of already do that with
Right. They do it with
prisoners.
prison, so it's just going to expand that system to
Yeah.
include anybody who's picked up for any, like being illegal quote unquote illegal is going to be the huge offense. And now that they can even deny you if you're born here, so they might be able
They
to say,
can't
like,
now.
you're not
They
acting. I know, but they will be able to. But anyway, once it goes to Supreme Court, they'll be anyway. So they want to be able to be like, oh, I know you think you're safe here, but you're not. No one is safe. Even if you're born here, you're not safe. If they want, they can rip that out. It's not guaranteed that you're here because that's to do in China, right? You're able to travel if you're a good citizen. If you have misdemeanors and stuff, you don't get to have those freedoms. So I imagine
But that's kind of already how it is
fine.
anyways.
It is,
Like,
right? Because if you don't pay your
people
child,
with criminal records
yeah,
like
yeah,
get
yeah,
stuff for like
definitely.
all the time, like for
Yeah,
no
yeah,
reason.
yeah, yeah. So I'm not saying it's not like that, but I'm just saying it's going to be more like this. I think that's what we were talking about.
Okay. So how did you arrive at that?
Historically,
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, I mean, first off, we had actually seen a video guy was saying it specifically, and
Who
it made
might that
sense.
be? Just
What's
I'm
that?
just I'm just
It
trying
was
to find out
shared
if it
by
was
it was shared
I
by
don't
a,
know.
it was shared by a friend of ours, and I'm trying to remember. It was on Paula's thread.
Yeah,
I mean,
can
it
look.
was just something we had been talking about anyway, because if you read it,
Historically,
yeah, right, this is
jails.
right. I mean, what was it? It was the 13th Amendment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Where you're allowed, slavery is
Yeah.
outlawed unless, of course, you're a
Unless you're in
prisoner.
jail. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, it does jive with the whole idea of like how the country started with free land and free labor. So we've always been looking for ways to get free labor.
Mm.
And the one guy was just making sense, just saying, you're not going to deport 20 million illegals, quote unquote. You're
Yeah,
going to
because
make
this
them
would
work
cost
for nothing, you know?
this would cost hundreds, if not of billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars to do
Yeah,
if they fully implemented
that too, right? The
what
cost.
they plan to do.
Yep, definitely. Definitely. So it would be way too much. So it would cost you, and quite honestly, the ones who are benefiting from bringing people over the border are the actual agriculture concerns. They could stop this, the illegals coming across whenever they wanted to. I mean, they have the money and the sway to do it as far as getting a certain amount, getting a program in place. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a way of verifying citizenship. And you can do it
I think
immediately and
it's like
easily.
E-Verify or something.
E-Ver,
It's like
there you go.
part of E-Verify.
There you go. Yes. So they could do that in a heartbeat, but they don't want to do that. So they want to keep their low wages. And now I think if they hear, hey, would you like prisoners to do this? I think they would be, oh, sure, yeah, I can make even more money. So it just makes sense. It's not like we had a source on it. It just was something that kind of
Yeah.
jives with what we were thinking.
I mean, it does make sense.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. You know how I am.
Yeah, right.
You know, but I mean, from a logical, like, next step perspective, that is entirely within the realm of possibility, even
Yeah.
probability.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah. Now, on the 14th Amendment, front on the birthright citizenship, that's already been stopped for the time being.
For the time
I
being.
don't think that the Supreme Court can rule against it because it is literally like the words are in the Constitution.
Right.
And like there are like some exceptions to that,
Right.
with the exceptions being like diplomatic children, things like that, but like the only way that I think that they could advance the idea of this is to somehow interpret like certain kinds of visas, like, I don't know, student visas or something, to be included in that. But like the specificity of the way it's written, it seems improbable.
It also seems improbable that we wouldn't have extra terms, but they're already going for that. So
Again, it would be something that you would have to amend the Constitution to do.
right. It'd be 2/3 of I think it takes 2/3 of everybody to do it. And they can't.
I think it's like 2/3 of Congress,
Mhm.
2/3 of the Senate,
Certain number of
and
states, right?
3/4 of the states.
I don't know. But that's, I think, if everybody goes MAGA, like,
What do you mean everybody? Like he barely made it over the finish line. Like I know it looked like he had a lot, but he
whoops,
it it was a narrow victory. And in all likelihood,
you all right?
he actually won this because of like voter suppression methods.
Yes, of course. But I still think it's possible for them to corruptly do whatever they fucking want. Sorry, the cat's
I
on. So
ooh, sorry.
Yeah, it says just on the constitutional thing, it says to propose an amendment, 2/3 in the House and the Senate, 2/3 in state legislatures to actually call a convention to do it. And then you have 3/4 of the state ratifying conventions must approve it. So 2/3 to even get there, and then 75% to approve it.
Yeah, it's a very difficult process.
It's a
Yeah.
big lift, but
And
you know
and I
what?
and I think and I agree with that it should be. You know,
Mhm,
it should be a difficult process.
mhm,
You
mhm.
know, because like, the Constitution is supposed to be like the beginning and the end of like our legal system, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it should be a very difficult process.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Um, yeah, so I mean, but we are gonna see like they're gonna keep pushing on this and like places that we previously thought were safe, like schools, hospitals,
Mhm.
religious institutions like courthouses, things like that. It they're no longer safe, and it's gonna make our country far more dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a bunch of memes going around saying what to do in the case that they come to your house and this kind of thing. And so, yeah, there's a lot of people who are already
But-
on edge.
But thank God we're going to be getting Greenland, and thank God they're
Right.
renaming Denali again and all that shit. So that's great. I'm glad they're using. I mean, it's just like insane.
It is. It is. This is already the epitome of stupid.
So stupid.
Yeah, we just started and already we're at the epitome of it. Yeah. Although
I know.
I
I know.
think it can get worse.
How much worse can it get? Knock on wood. Like,
Oh God.
ay,
Real
ay,
bad.
ay.
Yeah.
And they've reduced even what minimal access to abortions that we had.
Yeah.
Because they've taken out federal funding. They've stopped enforcement of like the access to the clinics, like to give people access to the clinics.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yep.
it's
They,
gonna
they
get
released a bunch of a bunch of those wackadoos that were like attacking.
all of them,
Yeah.
almost all of
No,
them.
no, no, not just the J6. I mean, they're abortion clinic attackers. They let those guys out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Yes,
those were in there too.
Yep.
So you just
Right. And now when we give aid to other countries, we're going back to like in Reagan times, where if the country has abortion policy or they allow healthcare services for women, then we don't give them aid. Well, we're not going to be giving them aid anyway, so like I don't know what they think. You know?
No. I'm just hoping they don't give aid to Russia against Ukraine or something like that.
We will.
Yeah.
We will. But of course,
it's
he didn't end
entirely
it in the
possible.
day like he said he would, though.
Yeah.
Sorry, my hair.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's
I mean, without the satellites from Elon over there, I wonder. I mean, they're going to lose a big advantage over the Russians.
speaking of Elon.
Oh, what happened with Elon? I didn't hear.
On the day of like the inauguration and whatnot, this motherfucker goes out and throws out the Nazi salute not once but twice,
Hmm.
and then idiots in our own community, my community, had the nerve to like defend that and like, you know, pretend it was something other than it was.
Really?
And so what does this idiot do? It fucking Elon goes out the next day or like a couple of days later and puts out a bunch of anti-Semitic tweets just to say, yeah, that's exactly what I did. You know,
Yeah, and he's trying to. I mean, if you guys are paying attention, I mean, he is actually funding the far right wing group in
in
Germany.
in Germany, yeah,
I mean, he
he's like
wants to bring it
funding a
back.
literal neo-Nazi group
Yeah.
in fucking Germany.
So has the group that have people like woken up a little bit, or are they still doubling down with his double down?
So some people are, some people aren't. You know,
Gotcha.
It was
you
the
know.
Defamation League.
Yeah, that's
Came out
The
amazing.
and-
ADL
Did
did
it?
the ADL did condemn like the anti-Semitic tweets.
Okay, that's
Okay.
good. That's
Alright.
good.
All right.
You
Did they
know,
say like maybe he did make this? Maybe oops.
I don't know if they did or not. I
He
didn't.
It was a
did.
Nazi whoopsie.
I know he did.
Oh my god.
Like I mean, a
Oh my
fucking Nazi
God.
salute to Nazi fucking salute is a Nazi fucking salute.
I know, right?
Just like a fucking Nazi is a fucking Nazi is a fucking Nazi, and they all deserve to be punched in the face.
Well put.
Thank you.
Ugh.
I miss those days when Nazis were punched in the face.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
all do.
Yeah, I can't remember which one it was. It was one of those dickhead commentators. It wasn't Shapiro, but one of the guys like him was out somewhere talking bullshit, and somebody just came and just clocked him and dropped him. He just disappeared out of the screen. It was great.
It was Charlie Kirk, I think.
Who was it?
Charlie Kirk.
Charlie, yes, who has a very punchable face.
He
Even
does.
much,
He does.
probably more than Shapiro.
They're both
Even
pretty-
if he is pro-Israel and I get it, I will never be on his side.
No.
You know, you can be right on some things, but you're still a piece of shit, and
Yeah.
I got really nothing for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, so are we going to war with Denmark? Is that what's happening?
He had a bad call, is what I saw a headline fly by. Bad call. You tell me if you heard more. Bad call. And he said it's likely we're gonna take Greenland. Likely we'll take him.
You know what? Let him. And here's what I say. Let him. And world, you went and stopped two, you know, this from happening on two separate occasions. Please come do so.
Yeah.
Please come fix
Yeah.
America.
Please. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
right.
let's get UN peacekeepers. Yeah.
You know,
Well, don't send UN peace. Those useless pieces of shit.
well,
They can't even fucking stop Hezbollah from re-entering a space that they're supposed to be protecting. Fuck those motherfucking idiots.
well,
Fucking pussies.
I like to think though that the United States, we are like the children of Europe, right? Like we are there. So I think it's time for the parents to come back and kick our ass and put us
I
right.
agree. I think America needs an ass beating
We do.
and a bit of groundment.
We do.
So please
Please
come
feel free.
whip some ass and ground us, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Spank us.
That sounds so pervy.
It does.
Trump would like that, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Here's the unfortunate aspect of that is America is technologically superior militarily
Yeah, I know.
to literally everyone.
And like it's ridiculous. It's like they're here and we're like all the way.
Yes.
The next country down is like exponentially
I think
less.
it's like the next
See-
three countries,
Yeah.
isn't it? We're
I
equal
think
to the
it's
next
5 countries or
three or
something like
five
that, yeah.
countries combined.
Even like China, like is like 3 or 4 like generations behind us.
Yeah.
In across the board, like in stealth technology, like on the hypersonic, you know, in the hypersonic race, in the AI race, like they're way behind us
Mhm.
Yeah.
in like almost every aspect.
Hmm.
And they're like our next closest competitor.
Yeah. Although they did almost create fusion. They took us a step closer to fusion this last week.
Who?
China.
Oh.
And they're building a giant solar
We've already
farm in
done that.
space.
Like
Well, no,
we've
this
already
is the
done that.
next
We
step.
just haven't made it like
This is the next
uh
step. They're using
to
magnets. Yeah.
to make it,
Yeah, 'cause you need
publicly
built in
like
there.
usable for like public.
Right. But they did take us one more step further that no one has. And they're working on a giant solar farm in space, which is kind of an interesting idea as well. So I don't know.
Like a Dyson sphere almost.
What?
Like a Dyson sphere almost.
I don't know my science terms. I don't pay that much attention to it. I just saw that I read the Scientific American article that said they brought fusion an extra step closer, and it's still far away from being a usable power source for the masses, but it's at least they've fixed, it goes in science goes in
Yeah,
steps.
absolutely. Yeah.
So they
absolutely.
found a step further, so that was a big deal. But again, there's so many more
That
steps.
is so cool.
It
I'm such a science nerd. So
Mhm.
All right, so this is from Live Science.
Yeah, that might have been
China's
what-
artificial sun shatters nuclear fusion record by generating steady loop of plasma for 1,000 seconds.
it doesn't seem like a
Broken
lot,
world
but
record. Yeah, for maintaining super hot plasma. So yeah, and that's what magnets, right? It creates a vessel using magnets.
Yeah. And this week they also discovered a new form of magnetism that was a missing link between the kind we all use, and then this other kind that exists that does all these other cool stuff, but they can't get them both to do the cool stuff. And there's a middle one that kind of looks like it's a bridge. So that might be good news too for
that sounds awesome.
yeah, because it's magnet will be the key to us harnessing fusion, is most of the agreement. I think.
Magnetism is the key to a lot of things.
Yeah, like flying.
Yeah,
It is. I like that. Invisibility.
like superconductivity,
Mhm.
so many things.
So many things. And apparently they made solar panels clear now, right?
Yeah, who was was that Robert Reich? Who's
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it was Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That was it.
Yeah, they're almost transparent, so they can let sunlight in, but also then capture the
The energy.
frequency that
the
or
energy.
whatever that
Yeah.
is, whatever, you know what I'm talking about.
They
That
can,
To
that'd
generate
be
the
cool.
energy.
Like to be we'll have windows.
yeah, right?
You
And they
know,
can generate
in the near future. That would be so cool.
so great.
Awesome. Yeah.
So great. Yeah.
On the bad side of that is fucking Trump's fucking reducing all of the fucking research money that would go to this shit.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we don't have any. Yeah, they stopped cancer research. They stopped that.
Really?
Was how I heard. Yeah.
How do you fucking go after cancer research?
It's just
What
money.
the
They don't want
fuck?
any extra money going out to anything. They want all of their science to be, I bet they don't want it to go to, they don't want the National Institute of Health to have any learning and science that they can't give for free. Right? So they want it to be like one of their farm guys does it, or one of their whatever guys. So I'm sure it'd be until they can figure out how they can privatize it and make money without, using taxpayer money to make money, as opposed to giving it to the National Institute of Health, is what I think is going on. But it's a shame because on my lady blogs, I follow some scientists and they were all excited to be able to be presenting in January. And of course that's over.
Speaking of taxes, so I haven't done too much research, but I've like done a little bit, and the plan for Trump is to basically do away with income tax and replace that with tariffs. So I think this is actually going to raise the cost of everything like exponentially, because it's going to cause
Understand how income
Like
tax
for-
can be replaced with tariffs. That doesn't make any sense to me.
say
No.
that again.
It's Trump.
It doesn't make any sense to me how tariffs can replace income tax.
Well, the logic behind it is that prior to like 1913 or something, or some, shit like a fucking million years ago, that used to be how it was done. Like a lot of the revenue that came into the country was via um, tariff. But at the same time, that's also what caused the Great Depression.
Yeah, I was gonna say those tariffs didn't work.
Well, I mean, they worked to a point, you know, and then when they didn't, they didn't. You know what I mean? Like the way things are now is a much more stable way of doing things. But the problem is they've taken away like the majority of where that money used to come from, which is from corporate taxes
Yes.
and like taxing the rich.
Yes.
Like so, like now the poor and middle class bury, or
Yes.
really mostly the middle class
Yes.
carry the
Anyone that
brunt
buys
of it.
anything, if you have money to buy something, you're going to be paying the tariffs.
Well, yeah, that's how it will go,
Yes.
because that's how tariffs actually work.
Yes.
You know, unless you're even then, like, you know, even if you taxed them like at the exit point, you know, in like their home country, that money is just going to get, you know, moved over to, you know, somebody else that's going to eventually trickle down so that the American people are actually the ones paying the fucking tax. Like it's ridiculous. Either way, we're screwed, but we're more screwed this way than we are currently. And it's just another way of making sure that rich people aren't bothered by taxes.
Right. And a lot of the income tax goes to like, well, I guess that's not that the Social Security is an income tax.
It is an income tax, but it's its own tax.
Right.
And
Right.
it's not supposed to be used. Social Security isn't supposed to be used for anything. And the problem, the
For
reason
now,
why
yeah.
the reason why it's where it is because the government has touched it in the
Yes.
past
Mhm.
and continues to touch it
Yes.
every time they get a chance.
Yes.
So here's a little thing on the taxes and tariffs. So they actually interviewed for CNN a senior economist at a right-leaning tax foundation who said that it's an absurd idea for many reasons, the biggest being it is mathematically impossible to replace the income tax with tariffs.
That's what I was saying.
Imports are much smaller tax base than taxable income, and there's no way to squeeze enough revenue from taxing imports to fully replace taxing income. A swap like this would hike taxes on working class taxpayers and invite harmful retaliation against U.S. exports.
That is a much neater way of saying what I just said.
Yeah, I figured. For me, I get lost in the weeds on that stuff, so I had to read somebody, and that was interesting. It was from a right-leaning tax policy institute.
I agree. I agree that you know that I feel like that's important. You know,
Yeah.
you know, they're the one, like the people that are you know, if it was any good, would
They'd
be
be all over it.
advocating for it the most,
Yes.
are being like, no,
Yeah.
please don't.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
So,
no,
so, you know, so here's where we're at. Like, this is what's going to happen. This is what is going to happen in
Yeah.
the next year. We are going to see what when the economy dips, recession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not a depression within the next 1 to 2 years.
Right.
And because we're removing
Mhm.
the people that are doing
Sure.
all of like the menial labor.
Yep.
Like my fat ass ain't fucking getting out there to dig no damn ditches. Fucking put
Don't
on
look
a
at
roof.
me. Don't look at me.
You know, pick some fruit. Like my back, I throw my back out just getting out of bed. I'm picking some strawberries. Can't bend over that long. You
Yeah.
know, and you know, when I was younger, yeah, I could do some of that stuff. You know, I could, you know, throw some nails around and, you know, sling a saw, but can't do that anymore. I'm too fucking old.
Mhm.
You know, so you're removing all of the necessary labor. You're removing jobs that for like qualified people in America, like me and you and like, you know, most middle class people, by increasing A1, whatever the A1 visas. You know, uh, you're trying to remove like the source of income that's keeping like the government afloat and replacing it with a system that can't work.
Yeah, and if you take all those people and those 20 million workers who they want to target, and you end up, even if because they do pay taxes for the most part.
They do, and they
That
don't
money is coming in. They don't get a lot of the benefits Americans get, but they do pay taxes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They do.
So, I mean, you're removing that. And again, you can never, what I'm reading here on that quote is, you can never jack the tariffs high enough to be able to
compensate
make
for
up
the-
for the income
No,
tax.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
One
no.
does not replace the other. They're
No.
not. They're wildly different.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. They're wildly different in terms of how regular they are, because buying goes up and down and up and down. Like income is more of a steady thing that they can keep track of. There's just no reason one can fill in for the other. It's absurd. I've read nowhere that says that that's a feasible thing. But then dumbass goes ahead and does it, and everyone's into it. Like I don't know. I don't know what the point is here. It's obviously not to do anything practical. You know what I mean? I know that.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's going on naming shit and doing all this stuff all at once, except he's just ink,
Well, the naming is distraction.
just to be
The naming
distraction,
is-
Yeah, that's
to keep
just
people
distraction.
talking. Exactly, just to keep people talking. But like, it's actually like the whole Denmark thing. That's insane. But he's actually going for it. He's actually going for it. Like, so I don't even know. And he literally said when he was talking to Hannity, he brought up Biden giving away pardons and was like, "Ah, it's too bad he didn't give himself one, huh? Such a shame. That could be a shame." So I would he's gonna go after Biden, like, and how is he not? Like, my friend she's a lawyer and she's like all talking about how awful it is. Like, she's older than we are even, and she said that like all of her lawyer friends, they studied and have these really good degrees from very good schools, but all their case study, all their precedent is just getting blown away. They were like government type lawyers. So she said like, "Oh, thank God that Fauci got the pardon." And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is Trump world. We don't know if pardons are going to stick. I mean, who knows? And also, like, he might have just put a target on his back. People might just want it now. You tell him he can't do anything.
And
I don't
he
wanna
just
go
released
do it.
all of those fucking J6s.
Yeah.
And many of them have said, look, yeah, we're fucking coming back harder now. We're
Yeah.
gonna fucking bring
Yes.
guns.
And they're going
They're
after
We're
going,
buying-
they got cop that spoke about them. They're going after everybody who went. One guy said he turned his father in, and his father got like 20 years or something crazy because his dad actually killed somebody, and he's like, "I'm terrified for me," and he should be.
Jay, the QAnon shaman
Yeah,
is gonna get guns now.
right. And they want him
fucking-
to be. They want him to. They're grooming him for office.
The moose guy from fucking the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Is fucking getting guns.
Yep, from the Buffalo Lodge. Yeah, he's going to be not only having guns, he's going to be in office representing people. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Jeez, we are literally an upside down world.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So
Literally.
like, I don't know what's going. I don't know anything. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I can't even think of what tariffs are going to stand in for income. No, just do what you're going to do, weirdo. Just go. Just shut up and we'll figure it out after you destroy everything and you're sitting in a pile of shit. But right now,
I
can't follow it.
really hope all of the pro pally idiots that stayed home this election. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Mhm.
But don't let me see you at a fucking immigration rally. Don't let me see you fucking out there saying you're fighting for some shit because you're full of shit.
Mhm.
Because the time you had the opportunity to stop this, you sat on your fucking dick.
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
Well, anybody that decided not to get in this,
Well,
but
yeah,
I
I
also
agree.
think, but you know
that-
what? I think that's fake, though. I think that is a reason they want us to be angry at each other. They want us to be going like, fuck around and find out. But I think it's election interference. It was voter suppression. It was all kinds of other shit. It wasn't anything I'm not going to be angry at a pro-Pally person if they had those. I don't think their votes mattered all that much as I don't think our.
I think everyone's vote
I really
mattered.
don't think they did. I'm sorry. You can believe that if you want to believe that. I do not. I think this was I've never felt an election was stolen worse than when this idiot was standing on stage going like this for 40 minutes and everyone was like, what the hell? And then suddenly, yeah, he couldn't fill an auditorium and she could fill 2 stadiums in one day. No, I'm sorry. No. You believe what you want to believe. I'm not going to be mad at other voters. I'm not going to hold it against them. I'm not doing any of that shit because that's just what they want us to do.
Okay.
Am I emphatic enough? Look
Uh,
what it's doing to me, Corey. Look what it's doing to me.
I'm not worried about me. Like, I mean, it is what it's gonna be. I've got like 10 years till I can leave this shithole.
Why do
I'm
you
worried, huh?
why do you need 10 years to leave the shithole?
Oh, because of like the deals that I made to get this house.
Oh, okay.
Like,
oh, right. Yeah.
it requires me to sit here
Oh,
in it for
I didn't
10 years
I didn't know that.
before I can sell it or anything.
Gotcha.
You know, but I am worried for my neighbors. You know,
Oh,
I have immigrant neighbors
oh.
like on either side of me, like, you know, within several houses of me. And like some of them, you know, have kids. Now, mind you, one of these kids is a little shit. But he certainly doesn't deserve to have to worry about whether him or his folks
Yeah.
are going to be here.
Yeah.
You know, he should have to worry about not being a little shit
Yeah.
and being a better little human being.
Mhm.
But that's education. That's helping him deal with like the problems in his life, not making the problems fucking worse.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know, I'm worried about, because me and Danny are trying to have a baby, but we're both, middle age, and it's kind of at that edge where, problems can be more, because we're middle aged.
Mhm.
I'm worried about her health care and her being able to, fully access like the healthcare so that if and Hashem willing, we do get pregnant. By we, I mean she.
Mhm. Mhm.
She's doing all the work there.
Not all the
You-
work.
Not all the work. Yeah, but and anyway, that she has the health care that she needs to have a healthy pregnancy.
Yeah.
And if it is an unhealthy pregnancy, that we can stop it and like, preserve
She won't have to bleed out in a
her life.
parking lot because someone's
Yeah.
afraid to give her care that she needs.
Yeah.
God
Like
forbid.
I'm worried about, whether, or not John, when he goes to school, in college, will he even be able to go to school or college? Because, until, a couple of decades ago, there was like quotas on how many Jews could be in a school, you know. Yeah, it really hasn't helped us any, but that's besides the point. Like they, those sort of like ideologies are at the root of this administration. So I'm worried about like all the people around me. Like my life is halfway over. I've got like what at most another, 50, 60 years, maybe at most, if I'm lucky, more likely like 30 or 40. These guys are just starting out. Except for Danny. She's not a spring chicken anymore. She
Sure
cried.
should like you saying that.
She cried the one time I said that.
Yeah, there you go.
Christ.
So I decided to say it on the air. Decided to memorialize this in recording, yeah. No, but I hear what you're saying, and it is. It's just I don't know. Like I have nieces and nephews. Like if they told me if I heard one of them was pregnant, I would worry so hard. I don't know. I don't think this is the climate, and I can't imagine it. It's
Mhm.
navigating that. I mean, fortunately, we're in PA, so you got that.
Fortunately for now.
But like,
For now.
yeah, but when he take, but I think Sherelle would sell people out. Like,
She
I
would.
could totally see her going, I guess we're not a sanctuary city anymore. Never mind. And being like, are you gonna, do you want this money for your city? And you're gonna have to sign this pro-life pledge. And she would sign it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right?
Awful. Yeah.
She's already shown that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's already shown that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. No profile in courage here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's another one that, I called from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can just feel her. She just gave off that energy. It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame, really. She
And
let a
the
lot of
sad
people
part is
down.
I like her as a person. Like, she's funny.
She let a
Like,
lot of
she's
people down.
funny. But she fucking, let us all down, really.
Let a lot of people down. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a shame. Boo!
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 So anyway, all right. So we're gonna, I guess, get back to the
Yeah,
layout.
we've got layout to do.
Get that done.
It's
All right, guys.
Anything going on with you? You're just chilling for the rest of the day?
I got work later
cool.
Cool.
because they
All right.
cut our amount of time back to like 2 hours
Yeah.
to do our shit. So
Yeah.
Mm,
That's rough.
that is.
it is. I am getting more done, but it's not. I don't feel like it's as good a work as it would have been.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think they change all the time too, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully, I've bitched enough.
Yeah.
to get back. I doubt it, but
Right. And I keep my eye open for other similar outlets, so they're the only ones doing that. So you could theoretically have like 2 or 3 of them going at once and figure it out.
yeah. The only problem is a lot of the other ones are so much harder.
Yeah.
To get into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, that'll change over time. It always does.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
All right, guys. Enjoy
right.
your day.
Yeah.
Have
you too.
fun.
As always, this was fun.
Take it easy, man.
You too.